Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here Monday through Thursday lately at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So tonight we are going to trim. We got this whole stack of quilted blocks, and we are going to trim them up so we can start making them into our little quilt we got going here. So we got, I'll show you all of these again. We are partially assembled here, and we're gonna try and get all the new blocks to that step. So cutting tonight. That's probably all we'll do. Maybe we'll cut some more fabric, but just because of the sashing pieces, I don't know if we have enough, but we might just do that as needed too. So we'll just see. See how it goes tonight, but definitely gonna trim down these blocks. So, all right, let's get going. All right, so here we are. I definitely like the idea at this point of just like finishing up all the steps before moving on to the next one. So that's kind of my new game plan. So all of these need to be trimmed. I believe it's 8.5 inches. We will check. Ultimately, I think these are going to be 8 inches once they're sewn into the quilt. So the finished size is 8 inches. The unfinished size is the size of the block before you sew them all together. And I think that should be 8.5. So here's what we have so far. We have row 1. But now we have corner blocks for row 1. So we can put those on eventually here. So that's we got those 3 sewn together. So this is the quilt as you go process. We take our quilted blocks, trim them down, sew some sashing, and then we have sashing on the other side too to cover up the raw edges. Because they're all gonna have these raw edges with the batting and everything in there. So we put the sashing side on both sides, and then we end up hand stitching the one side. You could machine sew it, but we're doing it the nice hand stitching. So what I'd like to get to is we get all of our blocks cut down, and then tomorrow we can start actually sewing all the sashing pieces. So we could theoretically sew all our rows together tomorrow, and then next week it would just be like a hand stitching party. We would just be hand stitching all the back pieces. And dang, that'd be pretty dang cool if we got if we got that far. So anyway, here's the first row. It needs its like I said, it needs its 2 ends, the 2 corner pieces. But then here's row 2, which has all 5. And that guy is done. So this row is ready to be like attached to the other rows. And that's all the farther we are, but that's like partially like quilt done right there. So, and then to recap, everything else is all quilted now. We finished the quilting. Here's again the diagram. So that first ABC row that we have together, now we have the corners, so we can add those, and then this second row is done. So we got 3 more full rows, and then this last row. This last row is the one that we're gonna leave a blank for now, because we are going to make that our quilt label. So here's the one block that we did not quilt yet. We have some quilt labels here with some cute designs that are in our shop. I'm tempted to do the heart one again. So I think, oh yeah, so here's, you guys, I'm not done with the granny square quilt yet either. Here's the heart one that we did for the granny square. So I did finish the stitching, but I still haven't put this in the quilt. So this is a project that's got to get done for real. This one's like driving me crazy that it's not done. But anyway, this is one of the quilt blocks. So maybe the heart would be cute on this one again. But I don't know. We'll see. So, but I want to put like, maybe we put baby information on there. So this one we might just want to wait on. So this one I have sideline, and I think it's going to be this block right here. And maybe I should just write that on while I'm at it. Let's see if I can find a pencil. Here we go. Let's just make a note on here in case I forget. I'm just going to write quilt label. Quilt label block. Yeah, so the quilt label is just going to be built into the block, which I think is such a neat idea. That was Jenna's idea. But anyway, so that's that. So this little bit I'm going to put aside. This is our only unfinished block. The rest of these are all ready to trim down to that 8.5-inch size. I'm pretty sure, but let's just kind of start. This one we need to take special care of because this is our hand stitched one. I don't know if you guys can see. This is the one with all the little kind of clouds on. So, and I just had so much fun hand stitching. I need to do that some more. That was just relaxing once I got into it. And I think these clouds are so cute. But anyway, when we trim this one, I have to make sure to not go over any stitches at the border, basically here. Because if I cut that thread, it's just all going to come out. So I got to be careful for that. All these other ones that are machine quilted, we can trim off those edges just fine. The quilting, it's not going to be a problem. So we're going to start with this guy. But let's just double check, just because now I'm paranoid. Let's take one of these. And I do have my square ruler here. This is going to be really nice to use the square ruler. I do have a 7.5-inch marked here. Pretty positive that is not for this project, so I might mark that. Yeah, that ain't right. I'm pretty sure this is 8.5 inches because I think we ended up as 8 inches. Yeah, so this little bit is the part that's the 8.5. So, okay, what I'm gonna do first is mark this as 8.5. I kind of like that. It looks like I did that with the my dry erase marker. I kind of like that idea. Wonder what I was doing with 7.5 inches. Because that's not the size of the Splendid Sampler either. The other thing you can do is use painter's tape. I don't know, maybe I want to use painter's tape. I think I'm going to use painter's tape instead. Just because my thought is that I want like a bold line here because that's going to help me frame up everything. So I'm just going to take, I don't want tons of stuff on, but I'm just going to kind of like take this in half. Here, actually, let's just do it in half again. I'm going to put it just right outside that 8.5-inch mark. And I'm going to use this fun ruler again. This is that new ruler that I got that just is really nice for, it's got all the markings on for diagonal and all these corners, all the good stuff. So I want to be able to see my cut line still, so. But this is going to just make it faster, and I'm going to second guess myself. If I put the ruler in the right spot, I'm going to second guess myself a whole lot less, I think. There we go. So now I got my 8.5-inch framed up. Oh, Jennifer's asking, is this quilt going to be for your baby? So it is now. So I know I mentioned this a couple days ago, but Jenna, so originally we were going to sell the quilt and donate the proceeds of the quilt. Ooh, this is gonna be a little tough. Just trying to center this, and our original lines are not at the 8.5-inch mark, but we were gonna sell the quilt and then donate the proceeds to the Minneapolis Crisis Nursery. And but then we found out that we were going to have baby, right? So Jenna thought that it would just be so sad if this blankie did not go to baby. So instead of selling it and donating money to the Minneapolis Crisis Nursery, you guys have been donating instead, and to like as a gift for us, which is just so sweet of you guys. Jenna put a whole thing together. This is really hard to see. I can't tell if I'm centered or not here. I might put like a little dot in the center. So that would be 4.25 inches. Yeah, because 8.5, 4.25 would be center. There, I just put a dot in the middle so I can kind of get that letter centered. Anyway, so you guys have been like so generous in like sending donations so that basically so we can still donate something to the Minneapolis Crisis Nursery, but we get to keep the quilt. So it was just a really sweet gift from you guys, and we appreciate it a ton. I know gosh, I'm having a hard time squaring this up, you guys. We're gonna get good at this throughout the night, though, I think. But John was very, very happy about that because every time we embroidered on a new block, he got all bummed. Like, I can't believe you're getting rid of that quilt. All right, I'm just gonna go with this. This is wild. This is gonna be tough for me tonight, I think, but this is always the scary part anyway, though. So the reason that my blue lines aren't matching perfectly is because once we start stitching, it kind of starts bunching things up a little bit. So when we bunch things up, that line kind of pulls in a little bit. All right, let's not cut over those stitches. There, so the first cut's the difficult one, because that's where we really have to line things up. All right, so then after that, all we have to do is flip it. I think I'll just rotate my whole mat next time. And now all I have to do is put these nice clean cuts on my 8.5-inch mark. Which, you know what, I think I need to pull. Yeah, I need to pull this a little bit away. I'm having a hard time seeing my line. There, that'll do. I just want to see the line on the ruler more than anything else. Oh, wait a sec. Oh gosh, I got paranoid for a sec. I'm like, oh my god, that's a lot of stuff we're cutting off. But that is right, because we were cutting this down from like a 10.5-inch block. So 8.5. This is like freaking me out. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5. Like, I'm literally scared to cut this, but I know it's right. It's just freaking me out. But we're doing it. There's one side. If I had a big rotating cutting mat, I would be using that right now, but my rotating cutting mat's a little small. Oh yes, Katie. Katie's asking, how can we find out more about the donation? Is it on your website? I'm not on Facebook. It is. It's in that. I think there's a link below to get to the ABC Stitch Along page. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, it is on there. It's the like little X-ray fish, the little goldfish looking guy, and he's the link for it. You can actually, if you just go to penguinandfish.com and like type in donation, it'll probably pop up in the search as well. All right, here's our first one, and I didn't clip those little ends there, so we're just right here, and I think I centered him pretty well. So, all right, that is what we're doing for the rest of the night here, you guys, is just trimming all these. So I'm gonna have like my trim pile here. Ooh, we'll have to put these in order and stuff too eventually here. Okay, so next up, we got our little newt. Ooh, it's just gonna be fun to revisit all these tonight. Oh, Wendy says, I'm so glad for you guys. Ugh, it was such a sweet idea. That Jenna had to like have us have the quilt, and we just appreciated it a ton. And that you guys are gifting it to us with your donations and stuff is just so kind and sweet, and we appreciate it for sure. All right, this is tough. This is tough to know if I'm centering it. So I am still using my guidelines. There's a little bit of that water-soluble marker still there, but it is all scrunched in quite a bit for these. So doing the best I can here, but it's freaking me out. That's for sure. All right, that looks centered enough, I suppose. Let's do it. Get my cutting glove on. Kind of getting at an angle right away so I can do these two cuts without having to move the ruler. Except for I still gotta more. All right. This is definitely nice to have this big square ruler. I'm glad I got that. Let's rotate it. Zoop. This is the fun cut where I just have to line up my 8.5 inch marks, and then we have our perfect cut. The first cut, when I'm just kind of eyeballing it, that's the scary one. All right, so you can see all of that stitching that we're cutting off on the side. That's what we're going for all the rest of these. So this is kind of the first time that we really get to see the blocks all framed up really nicely. I think this really makes the blocks look immediately more finished by trimming off all this excess. Ugh! So it's the same effect as us putting it in our little frame that we've been working with. But look at it now, it's so cute with all that excess cut off the edge. Like I like the little ferns coming in. So we still will lose like another 1/4 of an inch on all this once it's sewn in. So you know these will be cropped a little bit, but you know that's fine. It's neat to see like something so busy like this one next to the really sparse hand stitched one. I think that's going to be fun throughout the quilt here. All right, next up. So we got like, I don't know, like 15 of these, or there's quite a few of these to do, so it'll take a little while tonight, I'm thinking. Having a little trouble with the glare. But again, this is the first bit I'm just nervous about, this first cut. I suppose I can kind of line up the letters so they're kind of straight. That's probably a helpful tool. So I'll do that. I don't know. I think that looks good. Let's do it. Cutting our little palm trees a little bit. I feel like I haven't used the rotary cutter in a long time. Oh, Wendy, that's not a bad idea. Wendy says maybe move or maybe fold it in half. Oh, well, I can't fold. Wendy was saying maybe fold it in half to find the center temporarily, and then I can like match it up with the dot. But I can't actually do that because not all of these were stitched perfectly in the center, so they're not originally perfectly centered. That would work if our original was centered, but it's not. It's just kind of wherever we ended up putting the iron on. I knew that I had a lot of extra leeway around the edge, so I didn't really worry about perfectly centering it. So I can't actually do it that way. But that was a good idea. There's the monkey. Little palm trees. They're all just so silly. Oh yeah, and then like these ones, like this guy's gonna be tough to cut because he's got like so much bulk. This one will be kind of tricky. Although this one, the outlines seem a little closer, or like seem a little bit more where they should be. Oh yeah, he's wobbly though, that's for sure. Okay, let's scooch. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get better than that. He's gonna move around when I cut. Okay, just gotta be careful turning him. Like a little pivot in the middle with all that bulk. All right, there we go. First cut. Look at all his floofy hairs. This is how we used up all our extra floss earlier on in the project. We just put it all in his mane. It's squeaking on the mane. 8.5, 8.5. Push it down. And if these don't end up perfectly center, who cares? It'll be fine. I am trying to get it exactly that 8.5 inches though. All right, what did we get there? Oop, I got some cuttings on the floor already. we luxuriized his corners there with all that fun like crisscross stitching, like leather. Funny. All right, letter K, you're up. All my lines are those original those original water soluble lines edges that we put on are all kind of faded now. They don't last forever, those water soluble lines. I don't know, does that look centered? I think something close to that I think is good. Let's do it. So this guy, this koala here was basically the theme of the last quilt that we all did together. That was fun. I could see doing that again, where everyone stitched the koalas and then sent them back to me, and we sewed it into a quilt. That was our last charity quilt. I'm not sure. I think these are all out of alphabetical order. I don't think we're cutting them in any specific order. I'll have to, this weekend, maybe I'll lay all these out on the floor. And then we can start to see what it's gonna look like as a quilt. Oh, Marianne says, such a darling quilt. Can't wait to see baby Thomas wrapped in it. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we did find out that baby may have a full head of hair when she comes out, so that'll be interesting. Since we only ever had like we were all bald as kids, so that'll be kind of funny to see a full-haired baby. Jellyfish. So that was our baby news last time we went, like last week or something, to the doctor again. The lines are a little bit better on this one, a little easier to see. A lot in the border of these ones, but we did that on purpose. I do like making these nice square cuts, like once we have the first two edges done. I feel like I'm going a little faster now, which makes me nervous. Yep, it's a girl, Jennifer. We don't have a name or anything yet, but now that I'm in the third trimester, we gotta like start thinking about all that stuff, so that's starting to freak me out. All right, there we go, a little underwater scene. Oh, I think this is our last one that was done prior to this last batch. I think after this one are like the 11 that we did in the past, like 2 weeks or something. Actually, less than 2 weeks. We kind of cranked these out, I think. Oops, hold on. Oh, she's due May 30th. I don't know. We'll see about that. I'm kind of thinking that that seemed. I think that's like the 40-week mark, but don't like. Isn't it more like 38 weeks usually? And I don't know. And then John apparently came 6 weeks early, and I came like 10 days early. So who knows that May 30th seems like might be a little exaggerated, but I suppose I don't know. Yeah, Jennifer says, I hope it's finished in time. I know, right? That's kind of why I'm just trying to crank on it. So we have one more week together, you guys. So, oh, your birthday's the 31st, Wendy. Fun. So so because of all this, like if you guys if you're haven't heard any of this yet, all right. So now we got our corner blocks. So this we can kind of go wherever. Oh, I did draw a line. Okay, good. But I reduced my schedule here just because I'm more tired now, basically, and just in case because we don't know what's gonna happen, right? So I've only been doing Monday through Thursday lately, and I'm gonna continue that for one more week. So next week is actually the last scheduled week. So I'm here tomorrow, and then off Friday, and then we have next week, Monday through Thursday, and then that's kind of it. After that, I will just be sending out, I'll just be coming on more randomly, and it might be more randomly through the day, or like it might not be the same time. It might be like during the day or something. So that's why we started the text messaging system, which if you're not signed up for, there should be a link below. But we started the text messaging system because I'm going to be just kind of more random, right? I don't want to not come on. I just can't guarantee times anymore, basically, is how I'm feeling. But I would like to, if we're not done with this, I definitely want to come back on at some point and, maybe do more of a marathon sewing or whatever. Cute. So this is one of our corner blocks. Front or back is, I don't know, either or. Here's another one. We did the same sort of stitching on it. But anyway, so that's the purpose of the text messaging system, and we've been using it a little bit. Like one went out tonight for you guys. But yeah, so after this week, it'll definitely be more sporadic, but I do want to come on and finish some of these projects. Like I definitely want to finish this guy. This is priority. I'm also knitting that blanket. It'd be fun to just kind of do like a knitting marathon where I can just chill with you guys and try and get further on that blanket. I also have the granny square quilt that I just have to put that dang label on. Like that's literally all I have to do. But I just have to do it, right? So it'd be nice to finish that up too. There's just like all these little things hanging out there that I want to get done. So that's what we'll be doing, some of those things. Just on and off, like when I text. So that's the deal. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can get as far on this before that as we can, and then I'll be letting you guys know through text. And theoretically, I'll let you know more than a half hour beforehand, like how I've been doing for these. Cute. I like just these little leafy bits. So those are our two corners. Now here's another one of our corners. This is actually our practice sheet. So this is when we were testing out patterns and stuff. I thought, why not put it into the actual quilt? Just because that's just kind of fun. Why not? It's part of the process. This will actually be on the front side because I want like the corners to have this pattern. So this will be actually on the back side, but I'm gonna just use it to cut. So I didn't draw any lines on this. So I'm just gonna kind of, eyeball center it. Something like that, maybe. All right, let's do it. thought, why not put this guy in the quilt too? It's part of the process. Ooh, Catherine says I'm 76 on May 28th. I mean, May 28th seems like a more logical date, I feel like, than the 30th for me. I don't know. We'll see. Like, going all the way, like, that far on the exact date seems... I don't know. I just don't know how likely that is. Although, like, I think Justin... I think, my sister-in-law's baby, you know, that they just had, like 5 months ago. I think she was pretty much on the due date, though, so I don't know. Maybe it will be on the due date. Who knows? That's a pile of question marks is what that is. We will see. Ah, see, this is kind of cute. So this will be on the back of the quilt. This will be the front. There we go. I'll leave it up like that for now. All right, and now we're to all the ones. Well, I guess those ones we did this past week. So this is the one that we finished yesterday, our little Serengeti deal. I can definitely see all my marker lines on this one yet, which is nice. Very helpful. About like so. So tomorrow I will get the... Oh, Jenna says that she's still guessing June 1st. Jenna, I think wants her to be a June baby. Jenna's birthday's in June. That'd be fun too. A summer baby. I would consider that a summer baby. May would still be a spring baby, which would be fine too. In my head, how I'd categorize it. Oh dang! Jennifer says I had all mine on their due date. Oh, the first was due on the 7th, and you had him on the 8th. All right, well then maybe it will be a May 30th situation. Cute! Look at him all cut down without all that extra border on. I like how he turned out. That one was fun. All right, we must have like 10 more or so, because I think we had like 11 total that we were doing, so yeah, this is gonna take the whole night tonight trimming these down, but oh gosh, everything's gonna look so much more finished. I got all these scraps now. I want to kind of Jenna had this neat idea of, well, I wanted to make like an ottoman and fill it with fabric scraps, because I have so many fabric scraps, you guys, especially from like cutting all the kits and stuff. We get like a bunch of, you know, extra little fabric ends and stuff from that, cutting fabric for the embroidery kits, and I save it all. So I got bins upon bins upon bins of little fabric scraps, little white and muslin fabric scraps. And I thought, ooh, you know what? I could make one of those ottomans where you just stuff it with all that fabric. And I'm like, man, but only one ottoman is not going to use up much fabric, is what I was thinking. And Jenna said, oh, I should try and make like those pillows, like for kids, that are like all different shapes and stuff. So like, you know, triangles and like pyramids and circles and rectangles and all that. So just like a bunch of fun different shapes of like pillows or ottoman type things, and then stuff all of those with the leftover fabric. And cute. And then that could be like in the kids' room and stuff, just playing with all these shaped pillows, and I love that idea. So what, like, the concept is I would do some improv piecing, and this would be a something fun to do live sometime too. Just do a ton of improv piecing of like all like just scrappy fabric that I have. I'm in the use it all up mode, the slow motion recycling mode. So improv piece a whole bunch of stuff together and then like turn those improv pieces into like these ottomans or pillow shapes. I do realize that this is like a long project, which I don't know. I'm trying to pretend it's not. And then stuff it with all like a bunch of the excess fabric. Ugh. I just love the idea of that project. It would like clean up my closet. Or not my closet, my basement of bins of all these extra of all this scrap fabric and stuff. That would be awesome to just repurpose those. We'll see. I don't know. Oh, that one's fun even. Just an all over like triangle meander. All the later ones, I do have a lot of scenes for some of these later ones, but I like those too. Another one of those spirally hot suns. Our little quail. We added the little baby quail to this one. That was fun. Ooh, dang, Arloa said both of mine were 2 weeks later than the doctor predicted. Sheesh. Oh, and Wendy says all 3 of hers were 2 weeks overdue, too. All right, well, I feel like I'm more okay going that direction. Having them be early kind of freaks me out. I don't know, all of it freaks me out. I'm trying not to think about it, honestly. Although now I'm at the point that I've postponed thinking about all those things, so now I gotta actually think about everything. Ooh, and thanks for all your guys' like product tips and stuff. So we had a post in our Penguin Fish Crafters group. I think it's on the Penguin Fish page too, of all your baby suggestions, things I need to know or items to get and whatever. I have looked over all of them, and I'm gonna look a bunch of them up and stuff, and that did feel super duper helpful, so I appreciate it. All you guys' suggestions, and keep them coming for sure, because I don't know anything. I'm also at the stage of like, oh, I need to start contacting people and asking questions like what I should be expecting and stuff, like friends and family. Kind of put everything off till now. Our stack's getting a lot smaller, although my pile right next to me is pretty big. All these scraps. That's what got me thinking about that ottoman thing. Is that like, oh, all these scraps could go in the ottoman. It's so helpful having these 2 pieces of tape, or the taped corners here. I definitely don't feel like I'm second guessing my cutting like how I normally do, so that feels good. Oh, Andrea says I could start making a pile for you and bring it to you parents. That'd be awesome. I'll have to call you up. I would take any suggestion. Andrea is my cousin. Yeah, I know nothing, so, and I've been actively avoiding knowing things, I think, until I've been pushing it off till 3rd trimester. I don't know, you guys, I feel like I am very anxiety avoidant. So I've not been on like the internet. Like the one time I did go on to look something up, it freaked me out, and I don't know, I've been trying to avoid looking things up and just like listen to the doctor and all that sort of stuff, just because I don't think I can handle anything. So now I'm gonna have to start doing that stuff. So I'm gonna need to do like all the good mental health things, because I'm gonna start freaking myself out real quick here. I am becoming a little bit more consistent with my exercise, so I'm happy about that. I know I like pushed myself too much and hurt my back, and then didn't do anything, and also started aching from that. So now I'm just shooting for consistency without pushing myself at all. And that's been good so far. Oh, look at that sweet one with all the hearts. Oh, so the donation listing has this guy, just like a close-up of this guy on it. For who asked that earlier? Oh, Kathy's asking, will my mom come to help after the baby comes? I think that's the plan. They're gonna drive up around that time, and it'll be spring then too. So I think they might drive up and stay in the camper around that time, and we'll see what happens. I guess. Who knows? Oh, Andrew says you're gonna do awesome. Mom instincts just kick in. Oh, that's good to know. Social media can be your enemy, and don't compare yourself. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm not so worried about that, like comparing anything. Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. For me, it's just like, I don't like medical things, and I don't like not, I don't know. I don't know. All that stuff, so that's kind of what I'm avoiding looking up. But yeah, I know John's gonna do a good job and stuff, so I'm not so worried about comparing to other people. But we'll see. Maybe I will be. We'll see. See how it does. Oh, Elena says have someone help set up a baby registry so we can purchase things for the baby. Oh, that's super duper sweet. I have not even freaking thought about that. But it is your guys' suggestions have been really, really helpful on that Facebook post. I have been looking back at that, and that's I think one of my projects this weekend is to get on top of all what needs to happen with baby stuff yet, and I'm gonna Google all those things, all the suggestions. Lois says exercise is very important. Yeah, that's been so weird. That's been a weird thing about this whole thing. Like, I explain it like, here's my threshold. Like, beforehand I could work out this much before getting injured, or I could be like inactive this much before like getting injured from inactivity. Now with the pregnancy, I feel like my threshold is only this. Like, I can only go a little bit more before I get injured from too much activity, and I can only go a little bit of inactivity before I feel like I'm achy and injured and stuff too. So I've been trying to now, like I said, I've been just trying to go for consistency now, and for the past like week or two, and without pushing myself, just straight up a little consistency in the stretching, and I'm doing like a pregnancy workout program, so I mean it's all built for that, but so it's a lot of stretching and all that. So definitely feel tons better every time I do that, but yeah, I'm definitely wary of not just like overdoing it or pushing myself like I normally would in a workout. It's hard to know where that threshold is. Look at all the sparkles. I forgot we did all that that shiny. Here we go, all the metallic thread in this guy. Even in the letters we whip stitched that metallic around. That was kind of a fun idea. I think we got 3 more, it looks like. Yep, 3 more, you guys. And then we will call it an evening. All right, there we go. We have not done a baby shower. I don't know if that's a thing that's gonna happen or not. That Catherine says your baby and Lincoln can share clothes. Lincoln is my little nephew, my first nephew. Made me an aunt. Yeah, they'll be within a year. Like he's gonna be 6 months soon. He just was 5 months. So let's see. It's March, April, May. So let's just say 2 more months. So he'll be like around 7 months, I suppose, when baby's born. Cute. Arlo is saying walking's good. So I'm actually having trouble with walking, um, which is annoying. First of all, there's so much snow outside yet that and ice on the roads that it's actually kind of difficult to walk physically outside. Although last year I was walking through all this stuff, but my hips have been hurting though when I walk. So like I'll just be walking and I'll like walk like 6 steps and all of a sudden it'll feel like one of my hips has just locked up, and then it just is super sore for the next 2 days. So I don't know. Walking's been not great. I went to the chiropractor and they recommended like a band, like almost like a workout band belt sort of thing to wear, and that can help with like stabilizing your hips when you walk. But I just haven't had it's just been like not great outside for walking, so I haven't really done that. So walking hasn't been ideal, which sucks because I like that. But we do have a stationary bike, and I've been going on that, and then I have a baby workout, a pregnancy workout routine that I actually really like a lot. So that's been good. Oops, shoot, I moved. Line it up again. This one we got all that bulk, so this one kind of wants to pivot on me too. We did another hairy turkey work here, but on the letters. I like this one. Look at this little mountain scene. That one's silly. All right, last one, you guys. Turtle. Ooh, and I think this is our last one that we actually finished embroidering too, with all the flowers on there. This one is gonna be bulky too to cut. Oops, I keep turning this the wrong way. Yay, I'm glad we got this far tonight though, because tomorrow we can just start sewing all the sashing pieces, start sewing these into actual rows. We're gonna have like a quilt looking thing tomorrow. That's exciting. Gonna start looking real tomorrow. Like after tomorrow, we might be able to like legitimately, like I could lay these out in rows on the floor. I think. That's pretty neat. Oh, you guys, I am like sweating though from doing this. I'm gonna have to shower. I have like my double sweater thing on still because I was in the basement and moving around, but warm now. Oh man, I keep moving. Oh yeah, because I'm pivoting on that rose there again. So let's realign again here. Okay, last cut. All right, get that. Oh, and I have gloves on too. That probably is making me warm. So there we go. There's the last feller there. So look how it reduced our stack. It's all like nice and clean now. But yeah, all of these guys yet will be the quilt. Again, we got our 3 on the top. We got to put our corner pieces on. So these are actually like the finished quilt just about right here. And then row number 2. So I'm hoping to get this far, at least sewing the sashing on and sewing the back on. We won't do all the hand stitching on the back yet, obviously, tomorrow. But it'd be awesome if I could get as many of these rows of these blocks together by end of day tomorrow. So, and then here's my pile of the ones that didn't fall on the floor of my extra pieces. So like this, I might even, oh no, I can't take these pieces off because they're quilted, but like This I would like fill in the ottoman sort of thing. But that's kind of what I'd like to do. Oh, all right. I'm gonna flip you guys around. All right, so I'm just gonna read some of the comments here. So Andrea says, "I know it seems silly, but yes, a maternity belt is so helpful. Oh, you ordered your daily with all 3 of mine in the last trimester. Not sure how or why it works, but back always felt so much better. Yeah, I should maybe just start wearing it during the day. Sometimes I think I get it too tight on the bottom, but yeah, it's just the walking. I do feel like it holds my hips in place a little bit better. That's the thing. Like, it's just been, things getting injured faster, I think. Oh, P says, I have hip issues and back problems. I go to a PT, and he does trigger point pressure therapy, and it's life changing. Oh, I'll have to like look into that. I was going to the baby chiropractor for a little. I should make another appointment with him too. Anywho, you guys, thanks so much for all the suggestions. I appreciate it a ton. If you do have any more like baby product suggestions, head over to the Penguin and Fish Facebook page and add them to the post. I'm sure it's probably one of the top posts. It has me holding up where I'm as far as I am on that knit baby blanket so far. I have the next block added, so I'm still working on that. But all right, and then we got our quilt here. This is gonna look like a real quilt starting tomorrow, I think. So pretty stoked about that. Finishing one part of the project and then moving on to the next, finishing that. We're at that stage now. So awesome, you guys. Thank you again. I will be here tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Then that's it for the week. And then next week, Monday through Thursday, is my last like pre-scheduled week. I intend to still come on here and there, like I was saying earlier, but it won't be scheduled anymore as scheduled. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks again. Sign up for those text messages to know when we're live. If you want, that's probably, I think people are liking that so far, just as little reminders when we're on, and especially when we're going to be off. But yeah, all right, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Good night.